What's up, and welcome to the Multifaceted Minute. I am your host, Mr. Reggie Harris of www.harrismultifaceted.com. Hey, check me out, man. Check my presentations out. I got some stuff on TikTok, got some stuff on Twitter, I got a little bit of stuff on Facebook and on YouTube, which you guys probably, if you're viewing this video, check it out. Check out some of my motivational stuff, my holistic health stuff, and all of that. So if you're interested, contact me for motivational speaking, holistic consulting, business consulting, life coaching, any of those types of need, any kind of coaching, any kind of teaching, any kind of facilitating, all of those types of things. And also inside of the workforce and any kind of workforce development thing that you need. So, give your boy a shout out. If I can't help you, I'll point you in the right direction that I can. All right. Man, welcome to the show. I would like to, for you guys to, like I said, interact with me. If this show had an impact on you, please reach out to me and tell me what you like about it and if it made an impact in your life. Today, we're going to talk, first of all, with the motivational minute, and we're going to talk about assignment. All right, I'm going to break down 3 things with that. And then next, we're going to talk about disenfranchised communities and why we still got to keep progressing and growing. And then next, we're going to talk about leadership. I love leadership. That's my jam. Yeah, baby. I love talking about leadership on that. And we're going to talk about a little bit about sports too, to round everything off. All right. So we're going to go straight into it, baby. And we're going to talk about assignment for the motivational moment here. So when we talk about assignment, I'm going to break this down into 3: purpose, mission, and vision. And we're talking about life assignment. Everybody is always saying, man, what is my life assignment? And you have to establish that. You have to figure that out yourself by, first of all, understanding yourself. Understand who you are. Do you some personality tests. Go to therapy. Go to counseling. Find out who you are. Look at your gifts. Look at your talents. Experiment. Work hard at different things. Try different stuff. Then move on to something else. And then that can help you through life experiences. And I tell people this all the time. You're not just going to find your purpose, your mission, and your vision by just sitting down and hoping that it somehow come to you through osmosis. That is not going to happen. You have to actually get out there, live life, do things to understand yourself, have experiences, go through life. All right. But you do have to, once you start doing that, you have to begin to develop a overall life purpose statement, a life mission statement, and a life vision statement. Reason why this is important is, and I want to tell you guys this, any great team, any great corporation, any great dynamic, anything, always going to have these 3 at their core and their foundation of how they built their success. You got to have overall purpose. You got to. If you don't have a purpose, if you don't develop a purpose statement, I'm talking about statements. I'm talking about writing this stuff down. You have to develop a purpose statement, a mission statement, and a vision statement. Write it down. Put it up in your house. Put it up in your mirror. Put it somewhere in your phone, something that you can look at daily to remind you of who you are, what your assignment is in life. Because here's the thing, when things knock you out of alignment, life is going to knock you out of alignment. You're going to have tragedies. You're going to be broke sometime. You're going to have indecisiveness that comes along in life because life is overwhelming. You got anxiety and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to do this. You're going to have failed relationships. You're going to have things that go wrong in your family. You're going to have things that go wrong in your job. But these 3 things, if they're written down, you're going to always be able to draw from those to realign yourself. Okay? Now, I need you to understand that. If you understand those 3, that you can get realigned by having those things written down, you can get back in the race and get back to being successful in life. And you can power through the adversity, the pain, the heartbreak, the abandonment, the depression. Now, I'm not saying that these three things by themselves will get you through, but I can tell you this, those three things will help you get through along with the other stuff. Maybe you need therapy. Maybe you need, some type of other reinforcements, whatever those reinforcements are, but you got to work those reinforcements. But part of that is, and part of this motivational moment is to give you a tool to help you do that. There are so many people that do not have a purpose statement, do not have a mission statement, does not have a vision statement. Like I said, I've taken this model from great businesses and great teams. You'll see them have that stuff on walls. They have it on their websites. They have it like when you walk into the building, those facilities, you're going to see their purpose, their mission, their vision statements written everywhere. It's going to be on their desktops. It's going to be all over the place because guess what happens? We're going to get knocked out of alignment. We're going to have problems. We're going to get angry. We're going to get sad. We're going to get frustrated. Within the business setting, there are going to be arguments at that table. There are going to be disagreements. But guess what realigns everybody back together? The purpose, the mission statement, and the overall vision statement. That is why those are set. Because we are going to disagree. We are going to argue. We are going to be hurt. But if we have this set up, this is going to always somehow get us back realigned, whether it's personally or whether it's in the business setting. Now, I want to tell you before I tell you mine, there are three things also that go along with setting these. Understand, number one, that these may change based upon seasons of life that you go through. They may change. And that is okay. That is okay that they change. Okay? Understand, you may have to rewrite these every year. You may have to rewrite them every month. And then you may not have to rewrite them at all, which leads me to number two. You may have set perfect ones and you may have to do what I call subsets of mission and vision statements to get you to the ultimate mission, vision, and purpose that you have. So you may have the big statement written up, but then something may come up in a season of life. And you may have to say, okay, for this month, this has to be, I have to narrow my focus. You see what I'm saying? I have to narrow my focus. And now for this season of life, I got to have this as my purpose. This is my mission and this is my vision. Now, usually those things will probably lead to your overall big, huge purpose, mission, and vision. Okay? Now, once again, number one, they may change. Number two, you may have to do a little what I would call subtopics underneath there. But then number three comes up. Okay? Number three comes up, and that you may have to not only, like I said, number one was a change. Number three is kind of like in between. You're not necessarily changing, but you may have to pivot a little bit. So mixture of number one and number two is pivoting and adjusting, where you're not necessarily changing the purpose, mission, or vision, or you may not even be coming up with little subtopics underneath, but you might have to do little pivots. And little pivots involve, okay, for this season of life, my purpose is my overall season of life. But now, okay, I got to pivot over here and my overall purpose hadn't changed, but I got to go a completely different route. And then I'm going to go over here and then I'm going to come back to that purpose. So understand pivoting is okay with that. I mean, it's okay to do that. It's okay to pivot. You may have to pivot that purpose, mission, or vision. Okay. So remember, change is okay. You can change those. You may have to have some little sub mission, purpose, and vision statements underneath. And then also you may have to pivot in order to come back to the main thing. All right. So you won't get stuck in either one of them. So, all I'm going to break mine down. So hopefully it'll allow you and give you some inspiration to be able to develop yours. But I would suggest, please write these down. Put these in your home, in your car, in your phone, at your work. Have them in a secret place. If you don't want nobody to know them, put them in your secret place. Put them where you can go and meditate and think about them. I have them in my head. These are in my mind. I meditate on these daily. I meditate on these all the time. My first one, when I look at my purpose of my life is to live a life full of great experiences while enhancing and bringing joy to others. That is what, when I wake up, and it's pretty funny, I always tell people my alarm is Lil Jon coming up, Lil Jon and Throw It Up, the song Throw It Up, and he comes on immediately, let's go. That is my alarm every morning. When I wake up, that's the mindset, because my purpose is to live a life full of great experiences and bring joy to others. So when I wake up, it's like, let's go time. It's go time, baby. Today is a new experience. It's a new opportunity. We're going to do this. And that's what I'm telling myself. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm going to experience something that I never experienced before. And I'm finna get it in. And it's going to be great. So living that life full of experiences and also bringing joy to others. Whenever I go out, I'm going to bring joy to somebody. I'm going to do my job with excellence. I'm going to change somebody's life. I'm going to help somebody along the way while continue to enhance my life too. Now, my mission is to model and be what I expect and want to see in the world. So if I have expectations on people, it's like even in relationships, that's the reason why sometimes relationships tear apart, because the expectation ladder is here. You have this expectation up here for somebody else, like way up here. And then what you're actually doing and producing is down here. And I'm like, no, I cannot be that. I will not be a walking contradiction for myself. Because if I expect somebody to do something, and I also want the world to be a better place, I'm going to model empathy. I'm going to model love. If I want people to love people, I'm going to show love. Now, will I be perfect? No. Will you be perfect? No. But you do want to have a positive impact. And will you have a positive impact every time and every interaction? No. That's just not going to happen. And you have to be real about that. But was the effort there? That's where you always got to ask yourself, was the effort there to make a positive impact initially? Did I give effort? And that's what you got to think about on that. And I want, whenever I look at my mission statement, I want to always say, did I model this? Did I try to model this? Now, sometimes anger, sadness, depression, all of these things kind of get in the way. Sometimes people come at you the wrong way, and that affects your mood. But it depends on how you handle it. Are you going to use that hard? You're going to use that hard. You're going to use that hard situation, that tough situation, as a way to create an opportunity to do better, to model those things, to model greatness, to model what you expect. That's a good question right there, right? Are you going to use those hard situations to model what you expect, what you want your kids to do, what you want your kids to be, what you want somebody else to be, what you want somebody else to do? And everybody said, well, I can't make a difference in the world. Yes, you can. One interaction at a time. The way you model something, the way you are in everyday interactions can make a lasting impact on somebody. Which brings me to my overall vision. My overall vision is to leave a positive legacy for my family name, and to honor my parents, my grandmother, and the elders that came before me. There were a lot of people that paved the way for this African-American heterosexual male to be able to do what I'm doing right now, to be in the business world, to be respected as a man. And I owe it to them to carry myself in a certain way and to pass on those positive things that I learned from them. The sacrifices that were made, the lives that were even lost, so that I can have the same rights and the opportunities to grow, to be the change in this world. And that's we have a long way to go, which brings me to my next point. And we're going to talk about this right here too. What is going on in the world as far as with disenfranchised communities? It's like I always tell people, I heard Governor DeSantis like going off, oh, we're going to stand against woke and we're going to stand against this and this and this and the woke this and the woke that. And I'm like, and I just started thinking, you're so angry about people being woke or people being politically correct, but you're not angry at the cause of that. See, people get mad at the reactions more than the actions that cause these things. Nobody wouldn't have to be woke if people actually treated people right in the first place. If everybody had the same inalienable laws, there wouldn't even be a Me Too movement if men treated women with respect in the workplace and in culture. If we didn't look at women as like tools and objects of our pleasure and to make them do work so we get credit for it and they would discriminate in the workplace. As a black man, I wouldn't have to fight for my rights or fight for leadership positions and different stuff like that if I wasn't discriminated in the workplace. There wouldn't have to be a politically correct way to say things if people wasn't intentionally and passive aggressively saying stuff, gaslighting people, saying different things to hurt people. And now we have to be politically correct because sometimes what could have been maybe as a joke, if the person actually was, knew the people or whatever like that, because it also depends on the source. So when somebody intentionally takes something that could be a joke and use it as a way to, say, oh, I'm better than you, or to, because people know based upon your history and your relationship and how you say things, they know what you're trying to say and they infer different things. And I always tell people this, you have to be careful of your audience because here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with it. All right. If people don't know you personally, perception is reality. You can say whatever you want to say and you say, well, my First Amendment right, but you can't control how somebody perceives that. And that's the reality of it. Now, they know you, know your heart, know what you're doing. And you may, that's why sometimes like, oh, okay, I know what this person doing. That was just an offside joke. They joke about themselves, yada, yada, yada. Or you do it in a small, intimate setting. That's fine. But when you start saying passive aggressive stuff publicly, and these people don't know you and you're targeting a group of people, yes, that's what's going to happen. Like, give you an example. You know why we need woke people and why we need politically correct people? Look what happened in Colorado Springs this weekend. Our LGBTQ community should not have to worry about when they party and get together that somebody is going to come in with some guns and shoot them up. And then you got people that feel emboldened, like even political figures that talk about, that feel like, oh, my rights are infringed because gay people asking for the same rights as me. So it's really crazy that, equality and equity seems like oppression to some. And it's like, no, that's not oppression to you. Somebody's asking to be treated just like you doesn't make you oppressed, doesn't make you a victim. Only thing they're asking is that the pendulum not be so far on one side that, that this group of people get mistreated because they either born a certain way or choose to be a way that doesn't harm anybody. Like I always tell people, well, I got to stand up for this and I got to stand up for my religion or whatever like that. I'm like, but you, at one point you say your religion, your God or whoever your gods are, that I'm not knowing, I'm not present and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, well, here's the thing with that. If that God or whatever, that God is going to still be alive when you go. Whatever you go to, when you die, that God is still going to be alive. So Why don't you let that God change that thing? Because if somebody telling you, hey, I'm born a certain way, this is the way I am, this is who I am, and stuff like that, and you're still trying to, oh, well, and trying to punish them, let these people be. This is why we need woke. This is why we need politically correct. You know, the thing that happened in Buffalo, I didn't see many people that were non-black. I didn't even speak out about it because I'm tired. As a black man, you know, I have that fear in the back of my mind that if I go to a place, that could actually happen because it just happened not too long ago. That somebody could just shoot me because I'm black. Woo! Not because of what I'm doing. And then people are like, well, what about the shootings in your own community? I'm like, I get that. That is a problem. But that is caused by poverty. That is caused by internal conflict. Usually you'll see people do those types of crime because of internal conflict. My thing is that you don't even know me personally. I've never done anything to you. And you feel the right that you can come and take my life, even if I never even crossed paths with you before. That is a whole different scary scenario. So not only I have to worry about people that I've come in conflict with, that's a stressor. Then I have to worry about just some random person just see me and might knock me off. And that's why I'm able to also empathize with women. When women talk about, women, let's talk about women's rights real quick. Certain things that women have to worry about that men don't. And so I do look as a male. I am privileged in some areas that some females are not. And so when they tell me, and I listen to them. And so I'm going to always empathize with something that I'm not. Because it's like, I don't live that life. I don't know what you go through with on the daily. I don't know your life experiences. Yes, when a woman tell me all men are dogs and men are evil, I don't get mad. You want to know why? Because her experiences dictate that feeling for her. My job now is to receive that as a person in love and try to help change that perception by treating them with respect. Do I fully agree with that statement? No. But can I say that there's some truth to how, to some of our behavior? Yes. There's also some truth when a male say, these females shiesty around here. I can acknowledge that. All right. But I'm not a female either, though. So I can't speak from that, but I can speak from a male's perspective on that part. But I can also look at it and say, hey, this is not indicative of the whole group, because I've had great interaction with a lot of great females too. And a lot of great females are friends and putting great impact on my life and have changed my life and have gave me free game and have helped me grow in so many different ways. So, like I tell people, there's no clear black and white a lot of the time. There's no clear this way or this way. People just trying to get a happy medium. And you have to learn how to meet people halfway. And part of meeting people halfway is, first of all, listen. Listen. Listen to hear, not to respond. Listen to hear, not to respond. When you do that, now you can have a meet in the middle. Express your truth. Talk about your truth. Talk about your experiences. But you got to be open to other people's experiences. This thing that happened in Colorado Springs makes no sense. Women being raped makes no sense. Black people being killed at random makes no sense. Discrimination against the Jewish culture makes no sense. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. We have to start listening to people and understanding their fears, their thoughts, and there are things that cause them to feel that discrimination. You won't have woke and you won't have politically correct if people are more empathetic and they loved everybody and looked at things, try to make things equitable, not necessarily equally, not make things equal, but equitably. Equitable. Here's the thing. In order to make things equitable, You have to listen and understand where people are at to meet them where they're at. You see what I'm saying? Equal can just say, well, I treat everybody this way. Okay, that's fine. But I always, like I ask people with kids, I said, do you treat every kid the same? The first thing said, no, I don't. Because they got different personalities. That's why you don't do that. So use that approach when you're talking with people. Don't generalize. You feel me? You feel me? All right, guys. Next, I'm going to talk about leadership here. Leadership is very near and dear to me. And I look at, especially with work leadership, how important it is. As a leader, you have been given the opportunity to bless, to positively impact somebody's life. A lot of times leaders look at leadership as, oh, look at me. Oh, I got to give everybody a bad score. I got to do this and I got to do this to make them better. It's like, oh, I got to, No. Leadership is understanding your people and become a situational leader. Understand your persons and their personalities. Take the good and the great by getting to know them and put them in position. Don't try to make them like you. Don't try to make them like somebody else that you see as they're excelling. I got to make everybody like them. No, you take that individual. You enhance that individual. You build them up. You enhance their strengths and you give them the tools to help them in their weaknesses. You don't emphasize the weaknesses. You emphasize the strengths and put them in position that their strengths stand out. I look at leadership like this. You stand behind the person, you pick them up. You continue to pick. You lift them up. You stand in the gap for them. And you enhance them and you build them up and you make them better. Understand too, that you can you can vector somebody's life, change their life. You do understand that most of the time people spend 8 to 12 hours working or getting ready for work or traveling to work. That's 50% of their day dedicated to a job. Crazy, right? Crazy when you think about it. Crazy. That is wild. And think about this. The way you treat that person may affect their home life. And I tell people this all the time. If you ever read somebody that wrote a suicide note, a teenager, kids that wrote suicide note, they always talk about, their parents' stress level. And they feel like they're a burden to their parent. My parent working, my parent doing this, my parent doing that. And they don't have time for me. And I feel like I'm a burden upon them. If you cause stressors to somebody, you can lead to somebody committing suicide. You may say, well, that ain't my responsibility. It actually really is. You're in leadership. You're in charge of making that person's life. You can enhance that person's life, or you can make their life a living hell. It's your choice. It's your choice. And if you're that heartless and that unconscious, that the only thing you focus about is me and getting that pat on the back and not trying to build up the people that work for you and make you look good, just understand stuff comes back around full circle. It does. And I'll leave that with you when we talk about leadership. Now, salute and much prayers and much salute to what happened to the young men at Virginia, the 3 football players. That was really sad. It's football season, and on this last minute, I do want to end with some smiles, but I wanted to pay tribute to those 3 young men, that and families that their lives have changed. But we're getting ready towards the end of the year. Man, Thanksgiving, this is really when football gets started here. Along with that, too, is going to be some great games. I got my Hail State shirt on, representing baby Egg Bowl Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Salute to my Mississippi State Bulldogs. My 49ers play tonight, Monday Night Football. Let's go, bang, bang, Niner gang. Hey, enjoy some football with some family, man. Even if you don't know it, get with somebody, and just enjoy that, man. I'm telling you, football is a great sport. You see a lot of teamwork, and you see a lot of positive lessons in the midst of watching, those games, the pre-games and the post-games. So enjoy yourself some football this year. Peace out.